Hi Libra, how's everyone doing? Welcome to your tarot reading with me. My name is JJ, if you're welcome. So, Libra, I've decided to title this video the following: How to Become the Emperor of Your Life. That's quite an ambitious statement, I think, but that was the message that came across to me when I was contemplating over your sign. So I was in the garden for an hour, just pretty much observing nature, which is something that I don't do often enough, I think, because it's very meditative in form. So rather than focus your thoughts on nothingness or trying to achieve that state of nothingness, which is what a lot of people often associate with meditation, which, I don't necessarily agree with, because forcing yourself to eliminate certain thoughts can be quite counterproductive, because you end up wasting time basically trying to eradicate rather than just achieve a very natural state of calm and serenity and numbness, comfortable numbness that doesn't necessarily entail, forcing anything out of the way. So anyway, that was an unnecessarily long introduction of how I view my little meditation session with Libra in mind before I came to this reading. And I have invariably have to make the link, with the sign of Aries for some reason, and I really have to tell you that. So there were two kinds of energies come away: that of the self-starting Aries and that of the very controlled Libra. Those were the two channels of energies coming in a direction. So at first I thought to myself, would this be more appropriate or is this solely a Libran reading to Kyle? But I have decided that no, indeed, the link that I was trying to basically establish, if anything was confusing, was because I see that Libra may be going through that very Aryan-like energy of becoming the initiators of their life and awarding themselves with a lot of sense of control and sense of direction. In essence, basically rising into kingship, really trying to make a lot of use out of this Jupiter feeling, expansion, that there are infinite possibilities, available to you if you really, really sit down and think of everything that you could achieve with your life. Right now, for some of you, that may not seem like a very distant possibility anymore, where the world is your oyster. So why not take advantage of very glorious expansion and widening of horizons? Because there is infinity in life. How very random. Let's see what pops up for you. Oh, something did flip there. So I need to eagerly dig it out now. Power. A central eruption of events. Something that triggers a break in confinement, a break in limitations, a break in structural limitations. And this could really easily be driven by the ego, I feel. So where the lightning that's being struck here, that's coming down on this tarot, I'm sorry, on this tower, the lightning that's coming down onto this tower, that's essentially breaking it into pieces. It's for reevaluation. That burst of yellow energy, basically, that's coming through is very much driven by the ego, driven by your need for happiness, contentness, achieving a more honest level of satisfaction. That's really how I feel like cards are playing out at this time. And this is very abrupt, you know, the Tower is very abrupt, and maybe that's how this Aryan energy, this Aries-like energy can be involved. So, Three of Pentacles, suggesting that this change, or this break in routine, or break in familiarity of a situation, possibly at work, because I do tend to associate the Three of Pentacles with more official matters, professional matters. So basically, meetings or gatherings with other people who may have a say in how you will progress, whether it is in the workplace or the kind of relationships that you will be having together, whether it's a business relationship or an agreed upon, like an arrangement of sorts that might not have anything to do with work, but could have something to do with your personal life. So really like a contractual marriage, or the convenience of bringing together your resources and assets, for example, to create more of a comfortable life for you and your partner, or you and your partner to be, if you could already be in a friendship with this person. You trust and love this person, have known this person for several years, but it's been more of a platonic friendship. And this friendship, then, there is potential and room for expansion and moving forward the friendship to kind of encapsulate life's needs as well, you know, basic needs, just coming together, merging homes through a contract, though. So with this, you know, there can always be a third party that is just unhappy about this, not very optimistic about the bridging together of your life with another person's life, you know, merging. Hey, odds. You know, take it as you want, of course. Take what resonates and throw the rest away. This won't resonate with everyone. So. And I also got the Empress in reverse. Now I've gotten the Three of Cups. So with this Three of Pentacles vibe, where you know, you have to assume that certain executive decisions in your life can't be made without the consent of a partner, consent of a family member, or a key member of your team somehow, which can lead a person to feel as though they don't have full control of their self-development. You know, that their self-growth can be hindered upon this way because they're not completely detached from the powers of others, powers to be, somewhat. Even though this shift here in dynamics that is likely to affect around you in your environment, because the Tower card, I really feel, really does play a role in environment, so your external life, just as much as it may affect your home life, but it's more, it kind of imposes a change with how you interact with people outside of your home life as well, basically. Once you make a decision to break a limiting belief or behavior or habit that you have been engaging in that's been causing all sorts of turmoil, you know, you decide to break away this limitation, change this structure, and you do so from the perspective of ego. So this is what's going to make me happy. If I start behaving in a particular manner that is more self-serving, then I have control of my life. And that's great. And you're lucky in this sense that this kind of energy and vibe is on your side, or at least there is the potential for that to happen. Certain external powers like this that come in the form of this Three of Pentacles, which is sort of like a negotiation anyway. So it's not like your voice will not be heard. It will be heard, but it's more the fact that a compromise has to be made here. So you may not feel as though you're in full control of your self-development, self-growth, but that is still occurring. It is still running in the background. But right now, it's more about really trying to just get together and unify your ideas and thoughts and passions and what is it that you have in common with people. Bring that to light. How would you like to visualize seeing your life be, even if it's just in the next couple of months? Where do you see yourself that way? Okay, now this is going to sound like I'm giving you an interview for a job, but where do you see your life headed in the next few months even? So you want to take advantage of this beautiful expanding Jupiter blessings, that you're being given here to really expand your horizons or just overhaul how you do things. Your own cards popped up. You love that. But it's really about synthesizing your thoughts, beliefs, not even necessarily beliefs, but just trying to find a sense of accord with others as well. And not just stroking that ego, not just attending to the self. Very natural. Everyone has to, do that. Obviously, you need to have parts of the day that are dedicated to you and you alone, your desires, and that can be anything from like watching Netflix for a bit to binging on Ben and Jerry's to having a few pints at the bar, or whatever it is for you, where you decompress, you de-stress. It's all about you. No one can come at you. This is the one time of the day where you want to be selfish. Leave me be. And that's kind of like breaking certain, not routine, but habit that others have gotten used to, always being available, always being around, always being able to get certain things done for them, where now it's kind of like you are asserting your own needs more. You're more upfront about it because come the latter half of 17, you want to hit the nail on the head. You want to say, I have seen this much improvement, this much progression in whatever it is that I'm doing. My goals, my KPIs for the year, have I been meeting them? So really a key time for evaluation, the evaluation of everything that's kind of already happened the past 6 months already. Has it been headed in the direction that you anticipated already, like from the start of the year to now? And how can you really how can you really ignite, let's say, that self-starting power that you had at the beginning of the year as well? To remind yourselves, of any resolutions or goals that you put in place saying, this is what I need to do, but maybe, as it just so happens to be, there are some months where you focus more on family, other months where you focus more on work, other months then where your health becomes a key point of interest, where you're like, no, I really have to do something about that backache of mine that's been bugging me, that tummy bug that just keeps coming and going, whatever it is, attending to your health that way, that all the goals and these resolutions that we set in place, at the very beginning of the year over champagne and bubbles and stuff starts to get forgotten or ignored. Ooh, sorry, dark card. Lovely energy. So yeah, really Libra, since you are the sign of also balance and stuff, so let's try to refer back to what this mean in terms of like really living out that Libran spirit. Are we talking about achieving a good balance between exerting your, being able to express yourself fully, in all your glory, and being that successful devil's advocate with other people's opinions, how you may clash. So really the differences here, and always trying to make peace with those differences and making sure that you are able to respect people's differences as much as they are able to respect your differences. So it's really trying to just, it's like having the cake and eating it. And really trying to work that out, which is awesome in its own way, but is it realistic? So is it more of an exaggeration that we need to get under control in the month of July? This, I can really rule the world. I will. Hold on. There is bureaucracy. There is a system in place. There are rules that need to be followed, points that need to be checked off of a list, requirements, documents, contracts, amendments, frickin' appendices. Not even sure what that means. But an annex. Sorry. So I think I was referring to annexes. The fine print, basically. Okay. This Three of Pentacles to me is the fine print in every document. The terms and conditions that just need to be zoomed in on a little bit more. And those terms and conditions reflect the needs and positions and compromises of others, compromises that others kind of force you have to make at some point. That is, though, in exchange for the grand luck and expansion that's coming your way. Really still take advantage of this with the Aquarius card coming up like this, but really it is an opportunity to discover more room for growth and breadth, really, through your connections with people, through appreciating the similarities as well as the differences, finding your common ground, but also knowing how to build upon those experiences, that so well together because of that strong common ground. But it's being able to build on top of that with the differences that you can appreciate, merge, and create something very beautiful. Honestly, I think that's your reading. Libra. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me once again. And if you haven't subscribed, but you would like to support this channel, really hitting on that subscribe button below is like the best way that you can give me that support, which is really, really awesome. And I thank you very much. And of course, if you want to get in touch, there should be a working link below, a contact form, that will send your message straight to my email, and I will respond as soon as I can. So yes, have a wonderful day, Libra. I will talk to you guys whenever I do. So yeah, take care. Bye.